if you compare it to the mature, is there a big difference how you should be working? If we start with the example, if you're now scaling up and you are actually aiming to be best in class or world-class leader in this area, what would you spend your time and resources on once in this startup phase?
I would say knowledge and understanding is always the starting point. You should be aware of security risks and be aware of a lot of things before you introduce the risks into your product.
Should you use an external expert?
I mean, you should use an expert, absolutely. And then, of course, the problem is to find an expert and to know that your expert is a good expert. And that's always a challenge when you're hiring experts.
Yes, and there are many different ways of doing this. One is that you actually hire someone with security expertise that will look at your design, or sometimes the design is very confidential also, and maybe you want to have an expert, for example, attack your system with the knowledge of the design, without the knowledge of the design. But there's many things you can do. But if you remind me about the question,
just in the startup phase, should you is an external expert consultant the solution to?
I would say it's one thing that you need to consider, but it's not the solution to the entire thing, because now we have talked to some even OEMs where they are fully almost relying on the expertise of the suppliers for their security case, and that cannot hold over time, especially nowadays with the new standard coming out. So you need an OEMs and also tier ones. They need to have their own cybersecurity strategy. They need to be aware of the risks, even if they're not responsible for the entire vehicle. They need to be aware of what are the risks when what they are providing goes into a bigger context, and how it can be attacked, and what would be the consequences of it, and what is the impact on the user organization. So we will see a big growth in this, I would say.